Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. There's been a lot of talk in the gun socials lately about whether people should pay any attention to no-gun signs. Now, that's a complicated topic, and I am not about to jump into it. People have perfectly valid opinions about complying with unjust laws and giving money to businesses which don't respect your rights, and I just don't want to get down that road.
Believe me, you don't want to go down that road.
I would never encourage anyone to break a law out loud. Even if it is a stupid, unconstitutional law and nobody will ever know that you broke it unless it turns out that you actually needed the gun.
There was a firefight!
But I believe a no guns sign is more than just an instruction.
I believe I'll have a scotch.
I believe that when you post a no guns sign in front of your business, you're not just telling people don't carry guns, you're also claiming you have created that condition in your establishment. Consider this. If you were to put a no sugar sign in front of your store and it turned out your products were actually chock full of sugar, I could sue the pants off of you for false advertising. Am I missing something here? How is it legal for a business to advertise no guns when it isn't actually true? Now, I'm not a lawyer because my parents were married, but this sure seems to me like something we could solve through the court system without passing new statutes.
I think there's a word for that.
So, if any of you good folk know a lawyer who does work for the light side of the force, could you please look into this for me? Can we file lawsuits against companies that maintain defenseless victim zones but don't actually enforce them? If someone posts a no weapon sign and I get hurt by somebody with a weapon on their property, isn't the property owner liable? And if we can't get it through the courts, maybe we need to pass a statute that says business owners are allowed to prohibit weapons, but only if they make an actual good faith effort to restrict entry and search patrons. What do you think? Comment below.
You're typing big boobs?
But it would be impossible for us to produce quality two-way propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by 1776 Insurance.
1776 Insurance. Most homeowners insurance policies only cover up to $2,500 for firearms. I don't know about you, but I've got more than that in just magazines. 1776 gives you comprehensive coverage against breakage, theft, fire, and burglary for all your guns, and you don't have to give them your serial number.
And by Vortex. Their new Defender line features a constant on emitter with no flicker and shake awake so it is always ready. The Defender CCW is impressively compact for daily carry, the ST is a bit larger, and the XL is an absolute beast with one of the largest windows available on a micro red dot. And by Franklin Armory. It's that time of year again, and although our robot overlords won't allow me to tell you the kind of deals Franklin will hook you up with on Friday, I assure you there will in fact be deals. Sorry folks, but I have to report some bad news. The jackboots finally won a case. I know, it's pretty disappointing, especially after we have become so accustomed to watching them suffer humiliating loss after humiliating loss. But you remember that ATF agent who got tased by local cops?
Ow, don't do that. Okay, here. My God, get him cuffed. It is cuffed. Please stop. Get him cuffed. Please stop, sir.
That just warms my heart. The professionalism of the officers, of course. I would never imply that I take pleasure in watching a human being get hurt.
Who wants to get tased?
Even if that person is an amoral sociopathic loser with no regard for the US Constitution or human dignity. But this incident from a few years ago got started.
Hey, let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground.
When a Fed named James Burke harassed a woman at home alone with her kids over a shotgun which she didn't seem to know anything about. He didn't have a warrant. Or at least I'm assuming he didn't, because there is literally no mention of the word warrant in the entire court document we're going to get to in a second here. It is, of course, possible that he had a warrant, but if that was the case, I would have expected him to have, I don't know, mentioned it to the cops during the incident. I'd also expect to see it in articles, and I'd expected to see it in court filings, but I can't find any mention of Burke having a warrant. So I have to assume he did not have a warrant.
You got a warrant.
Sure, here's my warrant. Oh.
And without a warrant, his ATF credentials, along with $2, will get him a coffee at McDonald's. What I'm saying is,
Get my federal creds!
the lady told him to piss off, and he refused to leave. That's called trespassing. It's a crime. She called 911 and told the dispatcher some dude was claiming to be ATF. And without a warrant, or even bothering to notify local cops, he may as well be impersonating a federal agent, so far as I'm concerned. Him being an agent doesn't allow him to harass some woman. He was verbally combative with the cops, and he refused to comply with their lawful orders. Yet this federal twerp managed to land a $1.6 million judgment against these individual cops. What the hell ever happened to the qualified immunity that seems to let them get off for doing the exact same thing to any member of the proletariat?
They know nothing. They are peasants.
You are not in control. We are.
These officers should be judged by what a reasonable person would have believed in their case. They got a call about a guy posing as ATF. So in their minds, how are they expecting an actual ATF agent to behave?
Get on the ground now!
I'm a federal agent.
917-110-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground!
I'm on the ground. I'm a federal agent.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
You didn't ask for it.
He is at 33590
Get on the ground. We'll figure it out.
Drive on that 10-8.
Not getting on the ground.
Well, for starters, a real ATF agent would have coordinated with them in the first place, so they're already suspicious. Second, a real ATF agent would be a cop, so he would know that it's best just to get the scene secured and let them do their investigation. I think these cops acted pretty reasonably, but I think what might have cooked them is that they left the dude cuffed after they had a chance to review his credentials and they realized, yeah, he probably is real. He screamed and he cried about a medical condition the whole time.
Have a seat.
Wait, now!
Have a seat.
Please, wait, I gotta breathe.
Okay,
Please,
you
sir,
can-
let
you
me
can
breathe.
sit down and breathe.
Let me breathe. I have a medical condition.
And in the lawsuit, he's claiming post-traumatic stress disorder just because he had to sit in the back of a cop car for a little while. Now, I'm guessing this isn't the same quality of agent they use when they want to murder people in their sleep. What do you guys think? Did these cops overreact? Will they get to appeal? Is this the hardest agent the ATF has to offer?
This is crazy.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Stand up.
I'm
Stand
not
up.
trying to be ashamed of myself.
Come out and sit in the back of the cruiser.
Let me see
Get in the car.
creds.
Get in the
U.S. District Judge Edmund Sargas just affirmed that illegal aliens do not enjoy the constitutional protection of their right to bear arms when he denied an illegal alien's motion to dismiss charges against him for having 170 guns on Second Amendment grounds. You folks know I believe gun rights are human rights. And I know some of you guys believe gun rights are not natural human rights, but rather they are granted by government only for citizens. Now, this channel really isn't about immigration stuff, so I don't want to get off into the weeds about that, but I don't think I'll get in too much trouble for saying if this man is here illegally, he should have a fair trial and be deported. That's not what I want to focus on though, because I think we're probably all on the same page about that part. It seems as though the ATF targeted this man simply for having guns. Not for trafficking them, not for having illegal guns. Besides, there is no such thing as an illegal gun, only undocumented guns. I mean, this guy was here for 15 years and was running a successful business. He was a gun collector and still had the guns. It's not like he was shipping them off to the cartels or something. If you want to deport him, fine. But why is the ATF even getting involved in the first place? We'll keep an eye on this story. It's not really even a ruling yet. He just denied the motion to dismiss. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about this case down below. Bear in mind, while you are civilly discussing this, I don't know how this guy came into the country, but most illegal aliens come in legally and then they don't leave at the end of their visa, which is a civil offense, not a criminal offense. Crossing the border illegally is a misdemeanor criminal offense. We don't normally deny people their civil rights for misdemeanors, let alone for non-criminal civil offenses. So with all of that in mind, the question I'm asking you folks is, are gun rights human rights, or are they granted by the government and reserved only for citizens? And now, for your moment of Zen. Hey friend, do you like pews and pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.